Welcome back to the show. Let's talk to Eddie Tofpik. He's the head of technical analysis and senior market analyst at ADMISI. Morning to you, Eddie.
Good morning.
Right, let's look at three pairs. So let's kick off with the Indian rupee. What's going on here?
We've heard that the markets are in the financial markets are not doing so well, but the rupee is doing brilliantly. And today itself, we have the potential for a confirmation of a further attack on the downside of July 2015 low at 63.25 and even down to 63 even, because we have a potential key reversal.
Right.
I'm not going to call it. I know the Indian market's basically finished, but I'm not going to call it until it actually happens and becomes the end of the day. But it looks like we have a continuation of a move down. That action we saw back in December, the big spike up and spike down, well, lo and behold, we have a bear flag. The target's more or less reached, but when we reach that target, it's then said, actually, I want to go a little bit further. I want to get the rupee to go a little bit stronger. And the support now is 63.08, which is that lower tie that's pushing down. Yeah, you've got the July low, but these are not necessarily specifically interesting lows. I've left them on there purely because it gives a definition to what would just be an empty space in the chart. So it's interesting to go down to possibly down to 63.08 area. Resistance at the top side, well, that's that middle line, which is at 63.74, the middle time. That's where it is at the moment, but it's unlikely at this particular juncture to see if it's going to have a test of that.
Okay, so a weak looking chart. Let's move on to Brazil, the Brazilian real. What's going on here?
Well, I put down indecision on last time I spoke here when we got up to about 334 area, and that's what we had, and it's now gone back all the way down, suddenly broken after the Christmas period, the New Year period, and said, okay, this is not happy up here. Let's try lower down. Now we had first move and close below the shift pitchfork. They're the one you can see, the time, which is at 323.94. This next one will be very interesting because we are very, very close to two lagging indicators. The medium moving average, which is 321.60, and the long moving average is 320.95. So between about 65 points, you've got two significant areas of support. And I think it might have a crack at that, negate that time, but have a crack on the downside. And I'll be interested to see whether it does do that. At this particular point, don't think so because it's been too short a move, too quickly. And I think it may be overspent. The low we've had at 320 back in November could be also another area of support. But I'm not going to bet the house on this. I say this particular point, it looks as if it might have another crack on the downside. But there's a lot of support underneath the market. But there's a pretty free area for about 200 points or so.
Okay, let's move on to the Mexican peso. What's going on here?
Well, this is quite good because the Mexican peso, as I said all along, is a great indicator for the Trump presidency. Yep. Not necessarily the USA, but for the Trump presidency. Yep. And we've had the big post-tax move up in the dollar against the Mexican peso up to that upper tine. And that's where I put the word nice, because it hit that upper tine and it just turned around straight away. That's when you know these charts work. That one worked on there pretty well. It's now broken back down because we've had the recent things, the political situation in the US with the presidency has been rather negative, shall we say. And so it's coming back down. So support, 319.70, 317.96, 317.60, let's say. That's where it's looking to head, I think, at the immediate moment. Has it got enough to go beyond? Possibly, but there's a lot of support around 319 even, and it'd seem unlikely as if it's going to go through that at this particular point. It's still an upward moving chart. We drop down again, but then that's going to be enough. No, right. Something will happen because you've got a big band of support, 319 to 1930, which stretches back in October, November, and that's likely to push it back up again.
That is not that clear to me, I've got to say.
That's fine with me. That's what makes a market.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I can see that heading down. I can see it dropping down to the support. Initially 319, 317 area, then again down to 319, to 19 even, not 319. Still thinking of real. 1919, 1917, holding there potentially, but then going maybe down to about 19 even or just below it, and then maybe deciding it doesn't want to go much further.
Okay, Eddie, we run out of time. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.